Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone. Hello, everyone. I am Sophia Melonē, the Debt Demolisher, here to bring you the tools, tips, and tricks to help you manage your financial baggage the right way. I'm super excited to be before you guys for yet another live stream night because we are here a live stream morning. Let me correct myself. I'm super excited to be before you guys yet again for another live stream Saturday. As you all know, since the starting of 2022, the Debt Demolisher TV has been coming before you all each and every Saturday in order to allow us to have a holistic space, a unified space, a collective space, a focused space so that we can execute, so that we can budget, so that we can plan, so that we can prepare, so that we can save, so that we can get our strategies all the way together as it relates to staying in action in our finances or anything that we would like to accomplish and achieve throughout our lives. So I know that it's always great to be able to get information. I know that it's always great to be able to get the tools. I know that it's always great to be able to get the tips, but tips, tools, strategies, outlines, curriculums without action, without implementation will do you no good. And so since I know that a lot of people are struggling with having that accountability space to be able to do the things that you're learning, to carve out the time to apply the things that you're learning, I want us to do it together here on this YouTube channel with the Debt Demolisher TV. So I'm starting the live stream room just a little bit earlier today because I want to give everybody an opportunity to jump inside of the room. As you guys know that we're doing a two-part series on today. So we have our dedicated live stream, which is going to be Plan With Me. And I'm going to go over the agenda for today shortly, but we're going to be doing 2 hours here, up to 2 hours here, live stream inside of the room. And then for those of us who finished up the 21-day financial fast with Michelle Singletary, we have been, if we register, we are being allowed to participate and join in on their Prosperity Partners Ministries workshop that is this morning, or this afternoon rather, starting at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to be going right from this session straight into the other one. So I just wanted to give us the time to be able to do what we needed to do on this Saturday morning, get in action, execute on things, get our plans together so that way we can be fully present for the workshop in about 2 hours. So with that, let me go ahead and pop out the chat so that way I can see who is in the room, who is in the building. Let's see who is here. I'm super excited as always to be able to see my fam, to be able to see who is with me and let me know that I am not alone. I would so greatly appreciate not being alone. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Let me flip this. I think something happened. So let me pop out the chat. I see Lisa H is in the building. Good morning, Lisa H. So good to see you. Welcome on into this room this morning. I'm so glad that you're here and I'm so glad that you're excited and I'm hoping that all will go well. And I hope that you're able to make it to the class today as well with Prosperity Partners Ministry. So thank you for being here. I hope that you have your things together in terms of what we're going to cover, what we're going to do, how today is going to work. Let me go ahead and speak through that and let you guys know how today is going to work. So how today is going to work, and I'll pull up the agenda shortly. What we're going to do today is we're really going to be focusing on planning for the next quarter. Yes, we are in the month of March and we're closing out the first quarter of 2022. But we all know that even though we may be in the work of working through our goals or working through our plans in terms of getting through this quarter, that doesn't mean that we can't apply or we can't begin to plan for the next quarter. So one of the things that we were able to pick up in terms of the book that was even mentioned by Lisa Nichols, we're going through the Abundance Now book now. She talked about doing things in 90-day intervals, setting goals in 90-day intervals, which is always the best way to kind of do. If you have your big macro goal, you have this big thing that you want to achieve, you have this big thing that you want to be able to accomplish. If you break it down into digestible interviews, allow yourself to have 90-day type targets. Oh my gosh, I'm just getting ready to smile right now because sidebar, I was trying to open up the slide deck for the presentation, and the sample of my book cover just popped up. So I'm like, okay, if this isn't confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. Matter of fact, let me give y'all a sneak peek. Lisa H, since you in the building, you getting ready to get a sneak peek. Let me share this real quick. Let me show y'all what just popped up on the screen. I was trying to open the agenda for today, and my book cover opened up. Hold on, this thing isn't. My book cover opened up. So this is the book that I have been trying to write since 2018. And I made this sample years ago. And if Joe sees this, he's probably going to scream because he told me I need to get rid of the yellow dress, because I've had the yellow dress for a very long time. I've had this yellow dress image for a very long time. So that's going to be it's very interesting to see that this is the book cover. Now, this is not the final book cover, but this is the book cover that I drafted in terms of what I want the project to be. And of course, I want it to be a series. So it's so fitting that, you know, we've been talking about choice, and we've been talking about how the power of the mind is in our choice. And so y'all know the name of my book is going to be Sophia Melonē and the Choice, or Sophia Melonē Presents the Choice. Come on, 25 inspirational messages to achieve financial mindfulness. This is just more confirmation that I just need to go ahead on and get this finished and stop playing and put my gift out there in the world. But when we have our discussion tonight for day 5 of our review of the Abundance Now book, I'm going to talk about this because I had this revelation while I was doing the reading assignment this morning. I was like, wow, I have the connection now of what's really causing me not to apply enough pressure to get this piece done. So I just had to share that because it opened up. It opened up, and I think I'm going to use this and put it as my screensaver or something so that I can remember to not hold off on trying to release something that's so important to me that I end up holding off on it out of a state of perfection. So thank you for being here, Lisa H, and witnessing that. You were able to witness that. I'm trying to get this agenda up as soon as it opens. And then we can go ahead and get started for today. But what I want us to do is to begin to work on mapping out our goals, or even if you don't even want to map out your goals right now for the next year, but this is intended for us to plan, right? So this is a plan with me session. So we want to be able to identify the things that we want to be able to accomplish within the next 90 days. So that way we can be clear on what that vision is, and we can be clear on what that thing is. So with that, let me go ahead and show you the agenda for today. So with today's agenda, how today is going to work, we're going to do this in 45-minute intervals. So because we're on a time frame, because we have to be able to get over to Michelle Singletary's workshop today, we are shortening the time just a little bit, and we're doing 2 45-minute spurts. So how this is going to work today is we are going to identify or make a list of goal ideas for next quarter. And again, granted, the intention is for us to work on our goals, but if you want to use your with me time for something else, if you want to use your with me time to get caught up on your readings, if you want to use your with me time to maybe get caught up on your budgets and planning things out, if you want to use your with me time to just knock out any administrative items that you want to be able to have a focus group in order to do, this is the space for you to do that. But the intention for the with me session is to plan. And so for the first segment, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to make a list of our goal ideas for next quarter. So what are some of the things that we want to be able to achieve? What are some of the things that we want to be able to accomplish? What are some of the things that we would really like to be able to meet in terms of a milestone by the next 90 days? And when I say the next 90 days, meaning the next 90 days of the quarter. So it can be anywhere between now and, or maybe even the ending of June, or maybe even the ending of May, if you really want to do it like in a 90-day interval. Or it can be just for the whole next quarter, which will be through the ending of June, because that would give you 3 months, that's 90 days. Okay, So let's get clear on identifying what that is. Let's get clear on identifying what we want to be able to focus on. Once you begin to kind of make your list, and you can use your 45 minutes to just start thinking about it. But when you start thinking about it, let's start thinking about why we want to meet those goals and what is in our schedule today that could allow us, or what is in our schedule for the future that will allow us to be able to get this thing done, to be able to meet this deadline, to be able to meet this goal. And one thing that I also want to add on to it while you're thinking through your list for next quarter in terms of things that you want to meet, things that you want to achieve, things that you want to accomplish. And I'm taking this from when we were just reading the Abundance Now book with the rewards goals. So how can you identify a physical reward that you could then give yourself to acknowledge the growth, or to acknowledge you meeting whatever that milestone is? And I know that this is one thing that I don't often do. And I kind of talked about this last night during our live stream for day 4 of the Abundance Now tribute to Lisa Nichols. I said to myself that I don't normally give myself a reward. I go from one thing, I check the box, and I jump to the next. I go from one thing, I check the box, and I jump to the next. I remember when I got to the point where I paid off my second to last debt account. And what I did to reward myself was I got some Chipotle. I got some Chipotle with some double meat, some guacamole, chips. I went all out. I went all out on my Chipotle bowl because I wanted to celebrate the milestone of paying off that as a credit card, of getting to that point where I'm now at my second to last debt. And now I'm reminding myself that there's power in that, because I've always said, and I have a YouTube video that talks about celebrating your wins. And if I can, I'm going to go ahead and link that in the description box of this video. So if anybody's doing this via replay, they'll be able to kind of check out that video as well. But I have to be reminded that I don't only just have to celebrate myself for meeting my financial goals. I want to be able to celebrate myself for meeting any goal, period. So when I look at what I want to be able to accomplish, or when I'm looking at the goals that I'm seeking to accomplish, I need to have a reward beside it. I need to have a reward beside it. So don't just list your goal. Don't just list your intention. Don't just list your desire, but also list how are you going to celebrate reaching that goal. So you're going to kind of create two things while we're doing this. And then once you begin to identify your list, then you're going to start thinking about how are you going to make it happen within the life that you know that you have, within the schedule that you know that you have, within the things that are already on your plans in terms of responsibilities that you have to do. How are you going to make it happen? So we're going to use 45 minutes to start our planning ideas. Then we're going to come back for our progress check-in after 45 minutes. And then we'll check in, do our thing, and then we'll jump into our second segment of our 45-minute window. And then by that point, we should be able to close out so that we can roll over to the Prosperity Partners Ministries Financial Workshop by Michelle Singletary. So for those of us who are going to be jumping over there, we can slide on over there too. Okay. So with that, let me go ahead and see. I see some famers in the building. Good to see you guys. All right. We got Love in Christ is in the building saying job well done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. She must be talking about the book cover that I shared. So yes, I have been holding on to this for so long. Holding on to this for so long. And that's one of my goals. So now I already know that that's one of my goals. So now I have to now map out the plan to say, okay, how am I going to make this work so that I can stop tabling it? Q Scott is in the building saying good morning. Hey, Q Scott. Hey, Q Scott. Let's go. Sherry is in the building saying good morning. Oh, so good to see you. Good morning, Sherry. Coach Harut is in the building on the west side. Y'all know Coach Harut is on the west coast. So that means it is 7 o'clock where she is, and she is up on this live stream. Let's give Coach Harut some love. Thank you so much for being here this morning, Coach Harut. And then we also got Tracy Ann, another West Coaster in the building. Tracy Ann, I responded to your comment this morning. I did send you the information last night. So I was saying, if you could check your spam folder and if you could check your promotional folder, because sometimes my emails, because the email is coming from me, the information for the session with Michelle Singletary is coming from me. So sometimes my emails go to spam just because of how my email address is. So for Gmail accounts, it'll go to a spam, but I know that I sent it to you because I can see your picture on the email. So if you can, check your spam. And then if it's not there on that comment, I also told you where you could email me. Matter of fact, let me put it right here. Because if you email me, then that way I could just reply. And then that way there won't be any issues of you not getting it. So Tracy Ann, there you go. Just make sure that you put the .com at the end and just email me. And then we could go from there. Please let me know once you've been able to do that. So that way I can take my email out of this chat box. Okay. Please let me know once you've been able to do that, Tracy Ann, so I can take my email out of the chat box. So thank you. And with that, make sure that the agenda is still up. And then with that, I want us to go ahead and get started. We're going to put 45 minutes on the clock, starting within the next minute or so. Okay, I never got the email. I tried to email you, but it won't go through. There's nothing in spam. So you can't email me either. Tracy Ann, let me ask you this. Are you able to get into Patreon? I also messaged you inside of Patreon. Can you check your Patreon messages and reply to my Patreon message? It's a direct message to you in your inbox, if you're familiar with that. And then I can just send you the details inside of there, because I sent you my email inside of there as well. But I'm just going to send you the information inside of our Patreon. So let me know. How's your email not going through? You know what it is, Tracy? Are you getting other emails? I don't know if I'm blocked, but that's interesting. If you can't send me an email, that's weird. That's definitely weird if you can't send me an email. All right, Q Scott says box checker, but I'm definitely going to reward milestones now. Amen. Come on now. Sherry is saying, laughing at so-so. Q Scott is raising the hands for the West Coasters. Let's go, let's go. And then, let's see. And Coach Natisha's in the building. Good morning, Mama Tisha's in the building. We're just getting ready to get started. So Tracy Ann, if you could let me know if you are able to get into Patreon, and then I'll just put the information inside of the Patreon, because that's weird that you're not getting the emails from me. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna start the clock because we're on a tight schedule. So 45 minutes. The agenda is up on the screen. Let's go. I'm going to go ahead and play some background music. You can let me know if the background music is too loud or if it's distracting, but we're working on our plans. But of course you can use this time for however you want to use it. We are going in action. Identify your goals of what you want to be able to accomplish next quarter or within the next 90 days. We're going to work on tackling our approach and our planning around our days around that, getting clear on what we want to accomplish, why we want to accomplish it, identifying the rewards to support each of those things. And then we'll come back and do our first check-in, and then we'll roll into our next push. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and get us started. 45 minutes on the clock. Let's go. All right, everybody. That was a good, strong 45 minutes. I know we went in. We were doing multiple things. I was looking through the chat. I saw that Q Scott was saying that she was really multitasking. Let me go ahead and stop sharing. I see that Q Scott was really multitasking, was getting her bullets updated, working on her projects, getting her things ready for this quarter, and scheduling the planning session and listening to TG all at the same time. I said, come on, somebody. Q Scott was getting it in. Coach Harut was in agreement, saying, I'm right here with you, multitasking. All right, you guys. So there was a lot of back and forth. I think I addressed love and crisis question. Tracy Ann is saying, hey to Mama Tish. Got the information off of Patreon. Perfect. Divinity is in the building. Good morning, Divinity. She's saying, buenos dias, Divinity. So good that you guys are in the building this morning. Okay, so let's check in. How did you guys do? What did you guys get done? What happened? I know for me, I was doing a lot of things. I was mapping out. I did make my list. So I got my little list. The way that I do my thing, I like to put things on sticky notes. That's why I have a lot of like stickies all over the place. That's probably not a good thing, because then when I'm thinking of something, I put it on a sticky note and then I put the sticky note somewhere and then I don't even remember where I put the sticky note and then I can't find it. So, but I have a tendency to flush things out on sticky notes. And then I'll do my mapping or my clean stuff inside of my notebooks, because I don't want like a whole bunch of scribbles and jibble jabberish in my notebooks. That's just like how I am. So I was going through this today, and I got to tell you guys, this is like my goal planning notebook. This is where I put like all my visions and things that I want to work on inside of this. A lot of my curriculums for my programs are inside of here. So a lot of my creativity is mapped out in this space. So what's funny was I opened up my journal and I went to the first page. Normally I'll just flip to the next blank page, but I ended up opening the first page and I started reading through the first page and I was like, woo, this is so good. Then I flipped over to the next page and I saw all of these reminders. I was like, man, just because I've gone past through all of this doesn't mean that I don't need to go back and revisit it. I said, I need to make sure that I'm going back and then I'm reading through the stuff, even though it's from 2020, even though it's from 2019, even though, because I still got a lot of room to be able to write in here, but I have all of this stuff. I have all of these insights, all of these things. And guess what? All of the things that are in here, I have not even accomplished. I haven't finished. But they're genius ideas. So why have I not gone back and revisited what I've already thought of instead of thinking of something new? I'm amazed. I'm looking at this. I'm like, wow, I got an educator's learning plan up in here. I got a digitize and release schedule. I got estate planning information up in here. I got all kinds of stuff in here. This is just, I'm like, wow. I didn't even realize it. What do you want from God? I done wrote 100 things, all this stuff in here. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh my goodness, this is getting me excited. This is just getting me excited just reading through all of this stuff. I need to make it my business to go back and read through my journals, to go back and read through my stuff. But there's some gems up in here. There's some gems up in here. Let me see. What else I got up in here? Let me know what y'all got done in the meantime while I'm reflecting through my stuff. I'm reflecting through my stuff. But nonetheless, I made my list and I started also doing some action items. I was trying to make sure that everybody was straight for this seminar, for the webinar, for the workshop that we have that's coming up with Michelle Singletary. So did everybody get their assessment done? So I know the email was long, so I forwarded everybody all of the information and it was a lot in there. So I was telling you guys, hey, get the pre-work done, whatever they're asking you for, try to get it done before the session. So one of the assignments was to do like the assessment. And I know a lot of times we wanted to be as accurate as possible. So you wanted to be able to update your numbers or whatever the case may be before you submitted your form. But I think in honor of us being respectful of their process, I just think that we should get the assessment in at least before we jump into the class at 12. So I got mine in. I had to go back and update some of my numbers and just make sure that everything was updated. So I put mine in because it was on my list of things to do. So I updated all of my numbers and made sure that my net worth was updated up to today or as of this morning. And so I went ahead and submitted mine. So just a reminder for everybody who we plan on attending Michelle Singletary's Prosperity Partners Ministries financial workshop that is going to be at 12 o'clock. So it's in less than an hour. Let's go ahead and get that in so that we can be on time for the session. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go to our next block because I want us to be able to continue to focus and push through and maximize this time as much as possible. And we're now going to focus on seeing what we can do to design our 90-day strategy. We're going to do this for roughly 30 minutes, 30, 45. I got 45 on the agenda, but we need to be up in the room within 10 minutes before it starts. So we're going to be done here by like 11:45, 11:50. So that way we can hop into the other live stream room on time with the other Zoom room on time with Michelle Singletary. All right, so let me read through this real quick, and then we're going to jump into the agenda so that we can use the time up until 11:45, 11:50, and then we'll close out. All right, so Q Scott is saying, yes, it was. Q Scott says, OMG, me too. I brainstorm on sticky notes too. Q Scott, we're just like so here. Q Scott, we're like so here. We're so here. Q Scott says, I love your tea, trying to read it all as you move. You know, I've worn my DDTV I haven't worn my DDTV shirt yet. Waiting on a special occasion. Oh, well, thank you. Yes. So what I'm actually going to do, because I know I don't want to take the time up for today to read this, but when we do our live stream tonight, I'm going to read the whole thing because it's going to be perfect. So I'll stand up so that you guys can see it on the live stream tonight. But yes, thank you. It's also a Sierra Lynn shirt. Sierra Lynn, the artist, Sierra Lynn. She's on all social media platforms, so you can find her there. All right, so Sherry's saying, reading the last 2 chapters that I was behind on from the 21-day financial fast, on the last chapter now. All right, let's go. And you got some more time because I think you can knock out the last chapter in this next window that we get ready to do. Okay, Sherry, so you got this. Sherry's saying, yes, I submitted mine around 6:30 a.m. this morning. I'm glad they asked certain questions because I needed to get it anyway. Come on, somebody. Come on, Sherry. Coach Aruta says, I'm adjusting my budget from last night and I'm putting intentions on funds, moving into my buckets and making sure it happens by the 90-day. Since the fast, I'm still trying to move consciously with my spending. Let's go. Me too, Coach Aruta. Me too. Me too. I'm still trying to be conscious with my spending. I'm telling y'all, that thing changed the game. This 21-day fast changed the game for us. I'm loving it. Acacia's in the building saying, greetings, happy Saturday, family. Greetings to you, Acacia. Shout out to your son, Acacia, because we know that he got his game today. Let's go. We wishing that his team wins. Let's go to Acacia's baby boy. Let's go. Coach Root says, I submitted my questionnaire last night. Let's go. Q Scott says, so here. It's scary. Yeah, it's scary, right? Lisa Smiles is in the building saying, hey, I can't stay on today, but I just got popping in for a few minutes. No problem, Lisa Smiles. So glad that you were here and so glad that you were able to make it. And I'm so glad that I was able to, even though I missed your live, I was like, dang, I missed Lisa's live again. But it was good. You talked about some good stuff. And I just love the acronym that you broke down. She talked about the depth, like of your hair. And we was talking about hair textures and hair types. It was good. I said, come on, Lisa Smiles. I said, come on, get us all the way together with this good old head. Educate us with the finest. Come on, Lisa Smiles. That's what we doing. We learning up in here. We learning on every platform. Lisa Smiles platform, TG channel, my channel, Michelle Singletary. We learning. We up in here. Lisa Nichols, we learning. We learning. We in here. Absolutely, or just email me about it. Okay. Morning. All right, Love and Place. I have the shop. I have a shop from God. Ooh. I have a shop from God. All right, that's good. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and power through. Let me share the screen. We're going to push through to our second agenda item for the last half of our Plan With Me live stream. So since you've been able to identify what your goals are, since you've been able to identify what you plan to kind of focus on for the next quarter, even if you're catching up on things, you can use this time as you see fit. But for those of us who use the first half to identify our goals, we're now going to begin to design our 90-day strategy. We're now going to begin to design how we're going to allow these goals to happen and put it in a more concrete manner. Start mapping out the steps, start mapping out the things that you need to do in order to get this thing accomplished. So we can restart the timer. I know I have 45 minutes on the clock, but we're not going to do 45 minutes because we need to make sure that we are in Michelle Singletary's lesson 10 minutes before it starts, at least 10 minutes before it starts. So I plan for us to wrap up 11:45, have our closing remarks, and then that way we'll be able to close out in time to get us over on that next live stream. So if y'all ready, I'm getting ready to put 30 minutes on the clock, not 45. So 30 minutes on the clock. Start designing your 90-day strategy. If you have questions, if you have concerns, make sure that you put them in the chat. I'll make sure that I'll be paying attention to the chat box as I'm working through my thing too, so I can answer any questions that you guys may have. But y'all ready? 30 minutes on the clock. Let's go. 32 minutes on the clock. Let's go, because we're gonna pick back up at 11:45 and close out for after our last progress check-in. All right, let's go. All right, everybody. We just got through our second spurt. That was a good 33 minutes that we just pushed through. I want to thank you guys so much for jumping into the room. Let me go ahead and stop sharing. I hope that everyone was able to get a lot of their action items done. I see Lene had just popped in the room. I know she probably saw my mouth talking because I was over here working. I was over here recording. I was over here trying to get some action items done over here. So I apologize if you saw my mouth moving in the corner, but you couldn't hear me. But we were in the middle of our working session. So we just wrapped up our second window inside of the Plan With Me session. I hope that you guys had an opportunity to get a lot done today. Based on our first progress check-in, it sounds like you guys were able to get a lot done. Go ahead and let me know in the chat while you can what you were able to get done in this last 30-minute spurt. I know it was a little bit less than 45 minutes, but you know that we have to get on over to this other session in like 3 minutes. So I'm gonna give you guys about a minute or so to pop in your last minute comments before we close out, because I do want to make sure that we're all able to get over and jump inside of that Michelle Singletary room in the next 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. In the next 2 or 3 minutes. But I'm super excited about today. I got a lot done. I feel like there were a lot of things done. Still a lot of things on my list that I still have to finish up. This is really going to be a busy day. So we're going to be going into this next session for the next 2 hours. Then I have a break in between my next client meeting, which I'm really not going to have a break because I need to get myself together for that. And then I want to jump into finalizing the rest of my things of what I want to be able to get done, what I want to be able to finalize in terms of just administrative things that I have to do to take care of some things related to my mom's case, as well as my own. We just got a lot going on. Okay. A whole lot going on. But Lene, I'm so glad that you are here and you are in the building. I hope that you are able to at least watch the replay, because we are getting ready to actually close out for today, because we've been on since 10 o'clock this morning, or maybe a little bit before 10. But Lene, I do want to invite you to make sure that you come on back this evening, because we will be doing another live stream this evening as we go over this here book, Lisa Nichols' Abundance Now. We are now on day 5. So that's going to be our conversation for tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Lene, if you can, come on back and join us tonight, so that way we can jump into this conversation. And if you want to continue to journey along with us as we go through the Abundance Now book, I want to invite you to grab your copy of that too. You can get the audiobook, or you can get the Kindle version, or you can pick up your physical copy. But that's pretty much it. I see Sherry is saying I only have 4 pages left to read. I had to stop to work on something. No problem. No problem at all. I totally understand. We had to stop and do some things. And that's how it works sometimes. But 4 pages left ain't bad at all. 4 pages left is not bad at all. But I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and remind you that your financial prosperity awaits you, and so does your financial sanity. And y'all already know what I'm gonna tell y'all to do before we roll out, because we got to jump into Michelle Singletary's class, and that is what? Get to work. All right, bye. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia